Hello students, a very warm welcome to yet another exciting journey of learning English grammar. Well, I hope you all remember what is the topic of this class today. Yes, it is Prepositions Part 2. I hope you enjoyed the Part 1 and are really ready now for the Part 2. I had given you a homework to go through a table. I hope you all have done that, so that it makes your learning easy this time. Kids, before actually starting the lesson, let's quickly begin with our warming up activity. Our warming up activity is a very easy exercise. So for that, you will have to stand straight with your feet apart, shoulder width apart, and then hands sideways. And then you are going to bend at your waist and touch your right hand to the left toe. Then get up again and then put your hands again in the side and then bend down again at your waist. Touch your left hand to the right toe of your leg. So this is the quick stretching exercise which will make you really energetic for the class. So you ready? At my count of the normal drill exercise. 1. Take the position sideways with your legs, the feet apart. 2. Bend. 3. Come back to the position. 4. Normal position. Again. 5. Sideways. 6. Bend down. 7. Get up and sideways. 8. Normal position. Don't move your feet. Just let them be there only at the shoulder width apart. 8. Hands in the air. 7. Bend down. 6. 5. Relax. 4. 3. Bend down. 2. 1. Great. So this was a little bit of warming up activity. Now let's end this clapping exercise. That is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Do it 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very good. So kids, now after this warming up activity, calm down, sit in your place, and then it's now time for the pearl of the wisdom. Students, the pearl of wisdom today is, it goes like this. Life is full of froth and bubble, and the only thing that is like stone is kindness for others and courage for yourself. Now you might be thinking, what does this froth and bubble mean in our life? It means our life, most experiences of our life are superficial. The only thing that is concrete or stone-like is kindness, which you show for others when they are in trouble. And the second thing is the courage which you muster up within yourself when something is going wrong with you. So these two things are very important. Otherwise, everything else is superficial, like froth and bubble. I hope kids, you understood the meaning of the thought and shall apply this in your everyday lives. Kids, I hope you remember what we learnt in the previous class. So with that remembrance or the memory that you have, let's solve this exercise. What does the first sentence say? I shall do it with pleasure. Which is the preposition in this sentence? Yes, it is with. Very good. It has been raining since yesterday. It has been raining since yesterday. Which is the preposition? Yes, very good. There is nothing new under the sun. Which is the preposition here? There is nothing new under the sun. Yes, you are right. That's under the sun. Next, he looked for his watch everywhere. He looked for his watch everywhere. Now tell me which is the preposition here? Yes, it is for. Next, it is 10 o'clock by my clock or by my watch. So which is the preposition here? Yes, very good. It is by. So it seems all of you know the answer. Kids, today we are going to follow up on this and we are going to take up some more difficult topics under preposition. Students, before we continue, I want you all to recall the definition of preposition. What is preposition? Yes, you are right. The preposition is nothing but the word which functions or creates relationship with the movement, the place, the position of the noun in the sentence. Very good. So today we shall understand some more prepositions which come up with these functions. So students, let's look at the functions of the preposition. So here it talks about the place. If you look here, in, at, among, to, under, above, between, in front of, next to. So these are the prepositions, and look at a few sentences that has been used or which has been framed using these prepositions. The dining table is in front of the TV. So that is in front of the TV is the preposition. Like the next one, I was closer to the stage than Lakshman. So 2 is the sentence. Then the next set of prepositions are of time, during, for, in, on, till, within, since, after, before. So look at the examples. She arrived at 4 o'clock. So that is at. Then we stayed in Mumbai for 5 days. For 5 days. For is the preposition. Next, the last set of prepositions, that is through, across, around, up, to, towards, after, before, again to the left, to the right, from, of, and for. So look at the examples. The children threw stones into the pond. They all are the prepositions of movement. Movement, or wherever there is a motion involved. So look at this. The children threw stones into the pond. So the stones are being put into the pond or thrown into the pond. He swam across the river. Across is the preposition. Dear students, there are some more prepositions with the categories mentioned here. So we are going to learn one after the other. Whenever an agent or an instrument is involved, then we use the preposition with and by. For example, please cut the apple with a knife. Please send this parcel by courier. Then you have possession. You already know what possession means. It means to own something. Here, the example here is like this, and the preposition is with. The boy with the red cap is his son. He is the boy with the olive sunglasses. So these are the two sentences. Next category is the purpose or the reason, where we use for as the preposition in the sentence. The woman went to the counselor for advice. The organization worked for the benefit of children. So the next one is concession. It is again something which talks about efforts that has been put or where there is less or more. The preposition used here is in spite of and despite. So in spite of all his efforts, he failed. I repeat, in spite of all his efforts, he failed. Next one, despite the phone calls, the warning was not heeded. So here multiple times they have made the phone calls, but there is no one who has acted upon it. Next, manner. She spoke in a polite manner. In is a preposition here. Students, the next one is the source. And what is the preposition that we use for this particular category? That is from. Look at the examples. The foul smell comes from the dump. I got this book from the sale. Then you have measure. Measure is the category, and what is the preposition? It is by. The percentage was increased by 25%. The mystery gets intriguing by the hour. So here by is the preposition used under the category of measure. So students, I hope you all have understood all these categories with their prepositions really well. It's time for us to recall by solving 5 questions. Students, so look at these questions now. This is the house dash Mormons. So what would be the preposition here? Yes, you are right. This is the house of Mormons. He is the boy dash the olive sunglasses. What would be the preposition here? Yes, it means he has the sunglasses. So he is the boy with. This book is a property dash the half-blood prince. So what do you think the preposition will be here? Now repeat again. I'll repeat it again for you. This book is a property of. Yes, you're right. So it's going to be of. The house on the mountain belongs dash my grandmother. So what would be the answer there? It belongs to my grandmother. So 2 is the preposition. The last one, she is the one, she is the one dash the ponytail. She is the one with the ponytail. So kids, this was a quick recap on the topic that we just covered, that is functions and the categories of the preposition. Now it's time for us to move on to the next topic. The next topic is the position of the preposition. Now what are we going to talk about in this particular topic or under this particular topic? We are going to discuss where exactly the preposition is placed in a sentence, whether it is placed in the starting, middle or at the end. So quickly, this must be very interesting. So kids, get ready for the next subtopic. Students, Look at the chart, the position of prepositions. Now usually these prepositions will be placed before the object. It means first the preposition will come and then that preposition will be followed by an object. Sometimes it can be one object or sometimes it can be two objects. And then you have, it is in the statement, if you see, it is usually placed before the relative pronoun or at the end of the statement. The same goes with the question or interrogatives. I want you all to take out your English grammar textbook and come to page number 143. Now look at the sentences there. You know that a preposition is placed before the object. So look at the example. The cat crawled under the bed. Right? Next one. Third one, if we go to the third one and the second one, more or less they are same, because the position of the preposition in both the cases will be same. So let's go for the second one first. In an interrogative sentence. Now what is an interrogative sentence? An interrogative sentence is nothing but a question which ends with a question mark. So in such sentences, the preposition is often placed before the relative pronoun. The preposition can also be placed at the end of the interrogative question. For example, in which street does he live? Which street does he live on? So these are the two examples. I hope you all remember the relative pronoun which you learned in the chapter called pronouns. Next, in a statement, the preposition can be placed before the relative pronoun or at the end of the statement. Now look at these examples. The person with whom he is talking is my boss. The person who he is talking with is my boss. I'll repeat the last sentence. The person who he is talking with is my boss. And then sometimes in which or at which is used instead of at or in while introducing a relative clause after a noun referring to a place. So this again is under the complex sentences category. We are going to learn them a little later. So what happens here? There is a relative clause and it is placed, which is placed after a noun referring to a place. Now look at the example. The house in which I was born was sold to a merchant. Next, sometimes the object is placed first for the sake of emphasis, like this. See there, this I insist on. So there is this, this I insist on. So they are both are one word. This is insisting is the word which is emphasizing on the preposition. She is popular the world over. So here this example, it says she is popular all over the world. Then the last one, here it says the preposition also follows its object in informal speech. Formal speech, which is in front of the audience or with the people whom you do not know, and informal speech is a very casual language or casual way of talking to your friends, family, etc. or people whom you know. So the preposition follows its object in informal speech, like for example, this is the bottle I was looking for. That is the woman I was referring to. So here you see it is at the end. So kids, I hope you understood the position of the preposition. Kids, I hope the chapter is getting lengthier for you. So in between, let's take a break and solve a riddle. I have 2 riddles for you. Let's see if you can solve it. If 2's company and 3's a crowd, what are 4 and 5? So if there are 2 people, that makes a company. There are 3 people, then it becomes a crowd. Then what does 4 and 5 be? What is or what are 4 and 5? Yes, any guesses, children? Yes, you are right. It is 9. So simply you are adding the numbers 9. Very good. Now the next one. What can you catch but cannot throw? What can you catch but cannot throw? What could it be? Yes, any guesses? No, not a ball. Next, what you can catch but cannot throw? Yes, it's a cold, a mild cold or a cold. So here it is a cold. So kids, I hope you like these riddles. Now let's move on, or let's continue with our next subtopic under the chapter preposition. Kids, I want you all to observe these 3 sentences on the blackboard. What does it mean? All the children were laughing loudly. She danced gracefully. He ran quickly. So students, did you observe that in every sentence I am trying to tell how an action has been conducted, right? So he ran quickly. So the action word is followed by an adverb, right? So in the first sentence, how are the children laughing? They are laughing loudly. How did she dance? She danced gracefully. How did he run? He ran quickly. So all these 3 words are nothing but adverbs. Now you might be thinking, we are doing prepositions, how come ma'am is just simply talking about adverbs at this moment? Well children, there is an important point to be remembered here, because there are some sentences which will have adverbs and prepositions both representing as prepositions. So there are some adverbs which will represent themselves as prepositions in a sentence. So let's quickly understand more about these sentences. Students, I want you all to come to page number 144 so that we shall discuss about the adverbs and the preposition. Now look at the paragraph below the table. There are some words which are used as both prepositions and adverbs. To know whether a word is a preposition or an adverb, remember that a preposition will always govern a noun or a pronoun. So there will always be a noun or a pronoun with a preposition, but for the adverb it is never going to be noun or a pronoun. What is it going to be? Yes, it is going to be mainly an action word. So look at the examples there. Is the bank manager in? So that is acting as a adverb. Is the bank manager in his room? Now you see his room has come. So there is an object. So this makes the sentence with the preposition, but the above one does not have any object. So, that is a word which acts as an adverb in the sentence. There are some more examples here. Come down. So, here down, the word is preposition, but does it has any object? No, it does not. So, this is simply adverb in the sentence. Next one, the next one it says, we sailed down the river. We sailed down the river. Now, down here is the preposition, but it is followed by the river, right? So, that's how this in this sentence down becomes the preposition. So, we see the word preposition as an adverb here and as a preposition here. I left him behind. Behind is a word which is a preposition, right? So, that is again an adverb. Look at the next example. Here it says, let's walk about a little. Here, let's walk about a little. In this sentence, what do you see? You see an adverb or a preposition? Well, you see an adverb. Yes. Next, the child crawled about the room. The child crawled about the room. So, where is the preposition? Here. And it has the object even. So, this sentence will have a preposition, right? Preposition. So, kids, I hope you understood how you can differentiate or distinguish between an adverb and a preposition in a sentence. Now, it's time for us to solve a simple worksheet. It's time for you to solve this exercise. It says, distinguish the prepositions from adverbs in the following statement, in the following sentences. So, we cannot live without water. What do you think it is? First of all, find out the preposition. Yes, without water, it has an object. So, what will this be? Sentence distinguished. This is preposition. Next, the carriage moved on. The carriage moved on. So, what do you think? Here it is. Yes. Again, if you refer, it is adverb. Moved action word is there, and then on. That is a adverb as a preposition. The path leads through the woods. Through. Through is the next preposition. The woods is the object of the preposition. So, which one will you go for? Adverbs or preposition? Yes, it's going to be preposition. Next, the man turned around. Around is the preposition. But do you think it has this? It has any body or does it has any object? No, it does not. So, it is again an adverb. We all went in. We all went in. In is the preposition, but do you think this is acting as a preposition? No, it is acting as an adverb. So, kids, I hope you understood this particular topic really well. It's time for us to move on to the next topic, that is some confusing prepositions. So, students, here are some important prepositions, but they are confusing. So, let's get some clarity on these prepositions and understand their uses in various scenarios. So, in. First, it shows a stationary position inside a premise. For example, I am in the room. So here it is someone who is sitting in the room, or you can say she is in the class. Here, in. So it simply states the stationary position without any movement. Next one, to show the names of big countries, cities or areas. So like for example, I live in India. Mayuri lives in Mumbai. So these Mumbai and India both are big country, cities or also a part of area. To show time or the seasons. For example, here Chitra was born in July. I went there in the summer. In. So next is when we talk about to show the occupation and the activities. So here he works in a plastic factory. He is busy in cooking. So both examples are in relationship with the noun and the object, and here it shows the occupation or the activity which is involved. Students, the next preposition is at. It shows time and definite place. So I get up at 7 a.m. She was at the conference. So it is pointing out at a particular, or it is talking about a definite place or a definite time. Then second one, it is used before colonies, village or smaller areas. Now this is also the preposition of place like we saw in the first one, but here you are talking about small villages and smaller areas. I live at Mandavali in Delhi. She studies at Pitampura. Next, to show the rate. Mango is sold at rupees 60 a kilogram. Milk is sold at rupees 50 a liter. So this is the preposition which shows the rate. Next one, to show some special place. Here it shows some special place. For example, BJP headquarters is at Firoz Shah Road. Next, Bal Bhavan is at DDU Marg. So this is the examples, or these are the examples for the preposition at. Now I want you all to look at your textbook. Come to page number 144. Students, I want you all to take your textbooks and come to page 144, where they have clearly mentioned the use of at and in various situations or scenarios which we have already discussed. So at home you are going to read this really well. Now let's move on to the next set of prepositions, that is on page number 145. It says between and among. Now between is two people. Whenever we are talking about two people, then you refer to the preposition between. For example, on a bench, Ram is sitting between Peter and Joanna. Okay, so something like that. Next, among is used for more than two people. Yes, more than two people. For example, it is Joanna's birthday and she has to distribute sweets among her friends. So she has to distribute among group of children. So that is more than two. So I hope kids you understood the difference between and among. In textbook you can look at the example, read them once. The property was divided equally between two brothers. There are two people here. Then distribute these biscuits among the poor. So here it is, the count of the poor is more than 2. So that's why we have used here, distribute these biscuits among the poor. So dear students, now just for a minute pause, breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's relax for a while, for a minute. Sit in a comfortable position. Sit straight with your back straight. Yes, you can rest your hands on your laps. Yes, now close your eyes and deeply breathe in and then breathe out. At my count of 1, 2 and 3. We are going to do this 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now let's continue with the next set of prepositions. The first one is in and then into. Now what does in mean? It means it is used when we are speaking about the things which are in rest. So for example, the girl is sitting in the room, right? And into, next one, into means in motion. So this is in rest and this is in motion. For example, the girl is getting into the classroom. Understood? So one girl is at rest. She is in the classroom, that is in resting position. The girl is getting into the classroom. So there is a motion or a movement. She is getting into the classroom. Now we look at the next one, that is on and upon. Again the same rule applies. On is a resting position. For example, this duster is lying on the table, right? Then the second one is upon. The monkey jumped upon the branch of the tree. So there what do you see? The monkey is jumping upon the branch of the tree. There is a motion there or a movement there. So kids, I hope you have understood these 2 sets of prepositions. They are really easy. So kids, the next set of preposition, it's beside and besides. Now beside means next to me or by my side. So for example, if in the classroom we say Albert is sitting beside Anantjeet. Okay, so they are sitting next to each other, something like that. And besides means in addition to. It means in addition to. Here we can frame a sentence like this: besides practicing day and night, the boy lost the match. So in addition to doing so many things, he still lost the match. So kids, I hope you understood the difference between beside and besides. Now the next one is on the page number 146. I want you all to take out the textbook and refer. So there are 4 prepositions here, that is over, above, under, below. So over is opposite of under. So for example, the plane flew over my head. The lunch bag is placed under the table. So I hope you understood the difference. So over is opposite of under. It implies the highest position or space. I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. The child hid under the table. Clear? Good. The next one, the next set is above and below. So above is the opposite of below, and it shows that something is in a higher position than the other thing. For example, in your cupboards there are racks, right? So over there you will use above with reference to some particular thing and below. So the t-shirt is kept above the jeans. So the t-shirt is lying above the jeans. Then you will see the shirt is below the jeans. So similarly, these prepositions are used in our various sentences that we speak in our daily life, and that is why learning prepositions is very important for a good spoken English or a good English which is grammatically correct. So kids, I hope you all understood all the prepositions that we have included in the class. So kids, it's now time for the concluding activity. Here are some pictorial representations of the prepositions. You are going to identify them as in which preposition it is. So are you all ready? Good. What about the first one? What do you see here? There is a line and there is this box there. So what is the answer? Yes, you are right. It is above. What about the second one? What preposition is this? There is a line and the box is? Yes, it is under it or below it. You can write below or you can write under. What about this? There is this wall and then it is there beside it. Yes, we have already learnt it. So the word is beside. What about this? See, there is a pole and there is this object behind or front. Yes, it is behind. It is behind. And here it is in front of the pole. So you can write in front of the pole. Correct? Good. What about this? There are two poles and between there is the box. So yes, I told you the answer. This is nothing but between. Next. What about this? Yes, the object is placed on the table. So you can just write on. And if it were coming like this, if somebody is, then it will be keep it upon the table when it is in motion. Next, see, this is a tunnel and there is a train passing through. So what is the preposition here? The preposition is through. Okay? And what about this? This is the pole and this object is going round about this. So it is around. Very good, children. So I hope you all have understood this. Let's end our chapter with a mind map. and recall whatever we have learned today. So kids, what did we learn today? We learned the functions, various functions of prepositions and their usages. Then we learned the position of prepositions, where it can be placed in a sentence. Adverbs and prepositions. So we learnt that the sentence can have adverbs and prepositions as prepositions, or they can behave. Adverbs can also behave like prepositions. Then we got or gained clarity on some confusing prepositions like in, at, between, besides, and then among, etc. Finally, you saw the pictorial representation of the prepositions, and you identified which were the prepositions that it was representing. So kids, I hope you all have understood the lesson really well. I want you all to do the exercises from the textbook in your grammar notebooks, and then we shall discuss them in our interaction session. I shall also share the answers with you after our interaction session on the lesson. So kids, we shall meet again in the next class. Until then, you all take care. Happy learning.